welcome to day 4 of my summer vlog series. Today is, what day is it? The 22nd, maybe? It's Wednesday, June 22nd, I think. It's afternoon here, it's about 3 p.m. Having a pretty chill day here today. I woke up, had breakfast, I worked for a couple of hours on my summer solstice socks, and then I've just spent some time working on my triangle fade quilt that I've been working on this week. My name is Sarah, because I forgot to say that and I keep forgetting to say it. You can find me on Instagram at Sarah_seams. Today is also the summer solstice, and I posted my summer sewing plans video this morning. So if you're interested in seeing that, I'll put a card up here somewhere with a link. And that's just where I'm sharing all of my summer sewing plans and the fabrics and patterns I'm hoping to use in the next couple of months, which is something I do at the beginning of every season on like the solstice or the equinox. And yeah, now I was just gonna take a little bit of a break. I'm gonna do some more knitting, probably work on my embrace cowl, and later I might go for a walk around the neighborhood. I'll try and get some footage of that. And tonight Troy and I might just have like a little bonfire in the backyard to celebrate the solstice. If you watched the first video in this series, you'll see the midsummer party that I went to over the weekend, and we had a massive, insane bonfire at that party because they burned their dried up Christmas trees, which it was very fun, but that fire was insanely large. We also have a dried Christmas tree, but it's a miniature one, so I think we might burn it, but it'll just be like a little bit of excitement, nothing like that other bonfire. So we might do that, and if we do, I'll try and get some footage. But what I thought I would do now is do a little bit of a notions pouch tour. I've seen some other makers doing this and just thought it seemed fun, and since I don't have too much to share with you today, I thought that this would be a fun little thing to do. And I'm really curious like what all notions that you all like to use as well for your knitting. These are specifically my knitting notions. I suppose I could do a separate one for sewing, but yeah, I thought I would show you what's in my knitting bag. And this is my knitting bag. It is, I don't know if it's pronounced Ben Simon or Ben Simon. I'm assuming it's Ben Simon. It is this little, this is like ripstop nylon, and it's this little like doctor's style pouch. So it has a wire frame around the top. So when it's open, it like supports itself. And then you can see inside, there's like a big pocket here, and then 2 smaller pockets on the side. And my boss actually got this as a gift for me. Some of our team went to Europe for some comp shopping, which is like, you know, going out in the market and seeing what other brands are doing, last fall, and brought these back for the rest of the team. So it's a super nice little bag. I really think it's like perfect for this. I have no idea what it costs. I don't know if you can get them in the US. I assume you probably can order them online. If I can find a link online, I'll put it down below. But yeah, it's just this really handy little bag, and it's pretty roomy on the inside. So let's see what I have in here. I haven't cleaned it out in a minute, so who knows. First thing is this, which is a little tiny kitchen scale. And I like to use this if I'm needing to measure small amounts of yarn. So like, for example, I just used it for my embrace cowl when I knew I needed to split my ball of yarn in half. I used this to do that. I think I got this on Amazon for like 15 bucks or something. So yeah, this is super handy. I have a larger one that I use in the kitchen, but this is the one that I mostly use with my yarn stuff. I have a little container of stitch stoppers. I don't remember where I got this little tin, but it's just this little metal tin, and I have a set of the Cocoa Knits foam stitch markers in here, or stitch stoppers. I have to say, these are not my favorite. I probably would not buy them again. I feel like they get stretched out over time, and they're aren't any that are small enough to work on my smallest needles. Like right now I have a project that's on 3mm needles and none of these fit. So I'm still using them for needle sizes that they work on, but I would not buy any more. I really prefer the silicone ones, like especially the cute ones that are like little animals and whatnot. I have a set that are little macaroons and I really love those. So I would definitely buy more like that in the future. And they tend to work on most sizes of needles, which is the benefit. I have some writing utensils. Let's see. Looks like I have Sharpie, pen, and pencil. I feel like I just tend to like chuck my extra pens in here, and then whenever I need one with a project, I just come here to find it. I have a row counter. This is the Cocoa Knits row counter. I really like it. It's pretty nice. I feel like I don't use it as much now as I did when I first started knitting. And I also feel like I tend to prefer patterns that give like measurements for how much you need to knit instead of rows, because I find them to fit better and end up being more accurate. So I really haven't used this in a while, but it's a handy tool to have if/when you do need it. I think I've also gotten better at reading my knitting the more I've been knitting. So when I first started, it wasn't as easy for me to look and see, like be able to count always how many rows I'd knitted, whereas now that's like something that I feel more comfortable with. So yeah, I don't use it that often, but still worth having. I have some chapstick. You never know when you're gonna need that. This brand is called Angel Balms, and it's designed by my friend Austin that I went to college with. He designs these characters and then makes lip balms inspired by them, and each one like has their own flavor, so they're really cool. This one is Pear Blossom, and it does smell very nice. I have a crochet hook for fixing any knitting mistakes if I need to let her back down. Always handy. Try to avoid doing that as much as possible, but it is handy. I have in this little Cocoa Knits bag, these are not Cocoa Knits items, I have my cable needles. I have one more that's being used right now. I think what actually came in this little bag was my Cocoa Knits tape measure, which I love this thing. It's just a really nice little tape measure to have in your bag. I use this constantly, and they come in a bunch of fun colors. Let's see, I have a couple of little notebooks. These came in my Della-Q bags. So I have a Della-Q needle holder, their circular needle case, and I love it. They're just these little tiny notebooks, but honestly, that's all the space I usually need to like take notes. If I'm taking notes on a project, it's usually just trying to keep track of a stitch count or do like a little bit of math, so I keep these little tiny notebooks in here. I have my needles, my tapestry needles, and also the little screw that I use with my interchangeable needles. I have a couple of metal tapestry needles of varying sharpness and size, and then I have a plastic one as well. So I just have them in this little plastic thingy. Again, don't know where that came from. I've just been collecting things. I have a bunch of cuttings of the silicone cord that I use like a barber cord. I just bought a whole roll of this on Amazon for like $10. So I just cut lengths when I need them to the size that I need. I try to reuse them, but I have so many projects on the go all the time. I have found myself like reaching to cut new ones pretty frequently. So it's nice to have the whole roll of them and not have to buy a bunch of those little individual packs. So yeah, I have a bunch of like pre-cut lengths of these in here. And then last but not least, my favorite, my tiny scissors. Look how tiny they are. They have this little pouch and this little tassel. And look how little they are. Oh my God. And these things are awesome. I've had these for like probably 4 years at this point, and they are sharp and they cut very well. Like when I first bought them, I was kind of like, are these even gonna work? Look how tiny they are. But they really do, and they're perfect traveling scissors for cutting yarn. Like these are you know, trimming ends, like cutting your yarn tails, this is all the size that you need. And you can travel anywhere with them because they're so tiny and they've never really dulled at all. So I absolutely love them. The brand is Canary, and I believe I brought these from Brooklyn Haberdashery. I can't remember. I will try to link this stuff below, whatever I can find links for, I will link below. Oh wait, I forgot one. I forgot an important one because I was excited about it. This is my stitch markers, and I keep them in this case from Camellia Fiber Company, which was gifted to me by my friend Jess, who I met through the La Mercerie sock swap, but now we're just like fiber friends, and you know, we talk nitty things. And yeah, so Jess sent me this case in the sock swap, and she also sent me those macaroon stitch stoppers I was talking about earlier, which I love. But this thing is awesome. It's just this little plastic case, and when you open it, it has two different sides, and this one is like one big compartment, but then on this side you can see there's like two medium-sized compartments and three smaller compartments. And I absolutely love this thing for organizing my stitch markers. So I mean, they're like loosely organized, but I can show you some of my favorite ones. So the ones that aren't in use, which are probably some of my favorites. My sister made me a set of stitch markers that are the card suits, and they're like these marble beads. And so there's one of each suit, you know, heart, diamond, spade, club. I think I'm using the spade right now. This one I got from Forest Charm, which is Maria's Etsy store. It's just this really pretty gem with the gold, what's the word for that, wire around wrapping. I've ordered a couple things from Maria. This one is also from her, and this one I love too. This one has a matching progress keeper. Or I guess this is I guess it's technically a progress keeper if it opens. Is that right? And like a stitch marker if it doesn't open, but I definitely prefer the rings that open, because what if you forget to take it out? Then you have a stitch marker stuck in your project. I don't know about that. I don't want to have to cut these out. They're fancy. So I'm also using one of my other faves, but this is a little matching guy that goes with it. So it's this like purple and cream check, and then it has this clear glaze on it. It's really pretty. And that I bought with that a little set of these pearl stitch markers, which I love. I definitely prefer metal rings and like findings, just aesthetically, I guess. And then I just recently got this set of ceramic stitch markers. These are on terracotta. And I have 3 of these, and they're all a little bit different. I'm using one in a project right now, but here's one of the other ones. Those are some of the bigger ones. I have a whole set of these little stars that my sister made me with the little sparkly gem. I really like to use these as my beginning of round marker. I don't know why, to me the little star just is an easy way to remember, like that's the beginning of the round. I have a bunch of light bulb stitch markers. I think I have the Cocoa Knits ones that are in like gold, silver, and copper. And then I have a bunch of like their smaller ring ones too, but I think I showed you most of the exciting ones. So yeah, those are all my knitting notions. I'd be very curious to hear what you have in your knitting notion bag, or if you have anything really special or like interesting that you keep in there. Do you keep chapstick in your notions pouch? I do tend to keep everything like in the pouch and then just bring the pouch around with me when I need it, or just grab something out of here and put it back in. I know some people like to keep like one set of everything with each of their projects, but I feel like I have so many projects that I would have to have like 10 copies, 10 versions of everything. So I just keep everything here in one place. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed seeing that. I don't know, I always find it interesting to see like what tools everyone uses and like how they prefer to work. So yeah, I will try and get some more footage of the rest of the day, and I will check back in with you all tomorrow.